Canada is broken, everything is going down. People and immigrants are leaving Canada. Economy seems to be ruined. And guys, I want to say in today's video, I want to cover this issue because a lot of people are saying, and including people who are born in Canada, that this country is no longer the same. A lot of people are saying it's not for me. Now, the worst part about it is a lot of Canadian families actually have completely given up an idea of ever owning a home. Like, you see that home behind me? Does it look new? Does it look great? Nothing great about it. But you know how expensive this is? An average Canadian family cannot afford buying that kind of home. Now it's something that used to be just a commonality is now a realm of the rich. So an average Canadian family can't anymore afford the homes. Now, guys, what has happened? I want to actually compare something with my own experience being in Canada. As you know, guys, I've been shooting the videos here on this channel for past however long, past 6 years, you would say, guys. Things have drastically changed for 2024, and they were being going on downhill. Some people would blame with the situation around the world, with all the conflicts, including the one in Ukraine, where I'm originally from. I am so glad I made the choice to move to Canada. Otherwise, I would have been in a way worse situation than I'm right now. We are right now in Canada. Guys, look at the numbers right now. Let's look at the numbers of what is right now, and I'll tell you what I used to make before and how it was like when I moved to Canada. Because I have something to compare with. A lot of people who are moving from Ukraine right now and other countries, they're like, this is not what it is. Like, this is not Canada we anticipated. That's not the Canada you talked about in your videos when you told me to come to Canada. Had people telling me something like that before this year. Anyways, guys, but most of them, of course, are happy, but still, some of them are slightly disappointed with what Canada has to offer. Now, guys, look at it this way. Right now, an average household income in Canada, I just checked before recording this video on the Government of Canada website, Statistics Canada, and they had data for 2022. I'm sure for 2024 things look even worse than it is right now. Well, it was $70,000, like I think $70,500, an average household income. Guys, it's ridiculously low. And guess what the expenses are for the average household? 67 something thousand. So basically, with all the expenses, with all your income and all the expenses, an average Canadian household is able to put away about $3,000. You know, guys, $3,000 only of income. And I was able to actually save up way more money with way less income. Okay, give me a second, I should get. Hi! Kids are waving to me from another side. It's that's what I'm worried more about is about the kids' future. You know, I have two of my own kids right now, and honestly, guys, I'm doing my best as a parent, not only to save up for my retirement, which probably I'll be working through my retirement, but I also want to make sure that I have enough money for them to at least go and get education so they can have a proper kind of career. Like if they want to go in a job or a business, whatever they want to do, but it's my responsibility to plan for that because the kids they cannot think about that, and with the current situation it's going to be pretty bad. So look at it this way, guys. $3,000. Guys, I just mentioned about that house, right? What's the value of that house? Well, I can do an analysis. We can have a look. I'm going to a street right now because it's closer to the lake. Those ones I'm not even going to be saying. That's like 4.5 million and more houses. This one is like closer to 900,000. The house I showed you before, maybe 800. I have to look. Guys, honestly, if you want me to tell you about the real price of that house, I have to look what was sold on that street right now. I have to see how the house looks inside, what type of renovations and things like that. Then I'll be able to tell you approximately how much I could sell it right now on the market if I was to list it. And I know the value of the properties. I work with the eXp Realtors Realtor myself, and I help people buy and sell houses for a living. My wife, Neetu, from originally from India, is international student. She came here. She's a mortgage broker, so I know about the housing. I know the prices, and I also know about the incomes of people. And I can tell you, you have to be really rich to be able to afford a house. And this is stupid, guys. I want to say also, if you look at the Government of Canada website, you're going to notice one thing. There is one interesting pattern. An average income for top 1% of earners in Canada, I'm talking about rich people, is about $579,000. So it's like 580. Let's round it out with 590, $580,000 a year. So that's how much is top 1% of people earn. And their earnings went up recently over the recent years. But I bet you your earnings and my earnings, well, guess what? We are middle class, right? So I bet you it went down. Now, some people would say the government is saying it's the entire situation with the global conflict and the entire thing going on. Go on the other side of the street. But honestly, guys, I don't want to be making this video too depressing and everything. I'm hoping everything is going to change. But a lot of people, Canadians would say maybe it's the money printing, maybe it's the policies, monetary policies our government did, and yeah, we have like a 99% chance that conservatives are going to win in this last elections. And I had some old, hardcore Canadians who've been forever in Canada, right, born and lived here, like they are in their 70s, guys. And I had all those guys were telling me, not all of them, but I had a couple of friends there in that age group here in Canada, and they were like, Igor, you know what? Don't follow politics. It's all a game. They're like, it is pretty common. We get 2 terms of liberals, then 2 terms of conservatives. Within 2 terms of conservatives, people start to hate them. Then liberals come, and literally, I had somebody who was saying we have an illusion of choice here in Canada, which is, well, I hope they're wrong, but I don't know. They've been here longer than I did. They were living here for many years. So, like, they're Canadians, right? I moved here as an immigrant, so I lived in other countries. So maybe they know more than I do, but that's what I've been told. They're like, hey, Igor, do you think there is a choice here in Canada? Conservatives are definitely going to win on this election. And then 2 terms, this Pierre Poilievre is going to serve, let's say. Then and in the end, he's going to take all the nonsense, and then again some other leader from liberals is going to come and take over. That's basically what I've been told been happening, and probably is going to happen again. So let's see guys how it goes. But anyways, long story short is, let me tell you how it was here when I moved here, because it was better. Okay, when I moved here, well, my first job in Ontario, I don't want to even mention. 2012, I moved here. Then 2014, I had my first job in Ontario, 10.25 minimum wage. It was tough. But that time we were renting a 3-bedroom apartment in Scarborough. We were paying, how much were we paying? I think it was like 1,300 for a 3-bedroom and 2-bathroom apartment. We were 3 international students, 3 roommates, renting together. And I think it was on Danforth Road, yeah. And then we moved here to Alberta. I moved here to Alberta, basically with my wife. We were renting an apartment here. I remember 1 bedroom for $1,050 a month, I believe it was, in Mayland Heights here in Calgary, Alberta, guys. And well, let's calculate the income. Both of us were working. My wife was always making a little bit more than me until recently, until I went into real estate and she went into mortgages. I guess realtors make a little bit more than mortgage brokers because okay, it's a separate topic for a video. It's a different kind of commission structure for mortgages, a lesser percentage of commission mortgage brokers on average get for the same kind of transactions, but we can talk about separate video. Long story short, guys, is well, I was making, my first job was $17 per hour, then I started making $21 per hour. Anyways, long story short, guys, it was something like 2,000 something dollars, 2,500 a month. My wife was making maybe like $3,000 a month. Our rent was like $1,000, 1,050, let's say, right? And almost nothing compared to what we were making. We were able to work. I was able to send money to support my family back home in Ukraine, my parents. I was able to save up money for a down payment for our property. We purchased a property later on. We were able to save up money. We were even able to, when I was laid off at some point, my wife was making money only, and it was enough for us. So not like too much to brag, but it was fine. The groceries were super cheap compared to what we have right now. So yeah, we were able to save up for a down payment. We were able to pay our groceries, and we were able to travel. Every year we would go to a different country for a vacation for 2 weeks, all inclusive, good hotels and everything. and still we had money, and still we had savings. Yeah, so that was back then. Right now, I don't want to complain, guys. I don't want to complain because what is it called? Fingers crossed. My family and everything, we are working really hard. I went through really struggling situation during COVID, when COVID started, in terms of incomes and everything. Like, guys, it was pretty bad. Like, it was before I even joined real estate. There were situations where I started a business, my business just flattened out, went down with the entire close up of the stupid pandemic, which I don't even know if it was real or not. I got vaccinated. I don't know if I was just brainwashed into doing that. Like, what was the entire purpose of that? Because it seems like it was like a joke that everyone forgot about, made a big deal about it, and then it's like, oh, where did it go? Yeah, it was a woman never there. Oh, good thing you got vaccinated, by the way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, the entire world economy got screwed up with all of this stuff. A lot of money was spent, but guys, my business tanked at that time, and I had to come up with different sources of income. Had to start doing Airbnbs and everything. So now I've been like doing Airbnbs with the entire situation. Like, what is it, 4 years I've been doing Airbnbs now, and short-term rentals. I went into real estate, and situation got a little bit better for the family. But I want to say the freaking prices in Costco, in groceries, and everything right now. Let's look at what's going on right now. Now compare the things I told you back then. What is the rent right now? I don't want to talk about my mortgages, guys. I don't want to talk about the mortgages that I have, because I have lots of debt. I have a big risk tolerance, emotional risk tolerance. A lot of my relatives are like, Igor, you must be crazy. I'm like, I'm probably am crazy, but anyways, I want to say that right now, if you rent a house like mine, for example, $3,500 you'll be paying a month. If you were to go for a condo, like I'm renting out a condo right now in inner city. So similar to what we were similar to what we had a one bedroom at that time. Well, right now my condo is, how much is it rented out? Compare, previous tenant was paying 2450, current one I think 2300. I have to check with my wife how much it is. Basically, yeah, a lot of money. Like double from what we paid, but we had one bedroom. Okay, let's say 2,000. Still, it's 2 times more rent, and it was just not that long back. Maybe like uh, 8 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, 8 years ago we were paying that. 6 or 8 years, doubled. Everything doubled. Everything became so much more expensive, but the income stayed almost the same. So people are making about the same money. If I stayed in the same job, well, I'd be making probably a little bit more, but everything else went 2 times more. But the incomes went like, God damn it, guys, real estate went up by so much. My home that we purchased at that time for 466 is now worth about $715,000. It's crazy. It's crazy how the homes became more expensive. Good thing at least we purchased it back then. Put 5% down payment, and it's like, guys, I'm just telling you, for those of you who can still afford the home, I say just buy it and own it and keep it, and whatever, rent it, because the money is losing its value so much faster than real estate. Kind of retains the value like that with the money, because they printed too much of money. Everyone is saying homes are unaffordable, homes have to get cheaper. Nobody wants to acknowledge the fact that Canadian dollar is worth nothing much anymore. So basically, it's, yeah, you are able to buy less for the same amount of dollars that was there before. So yeah, I also noticed that things got way worse in Canada compared to what it was before. And well, that's the realities that we have, unfortunately, guys. And I think things have to change. I think things will get better eventually. I even forgot to say, hey, what's up, and welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here, guys. And I'm optimistic. I still am optimistic, even though I made a really sad video right now. But yeah, it's like, I took my wife today to a superstore, and we looked at the berries, and the berries were like $9.99 for strawberries, for like a plastic container of strawberries. I don't remember. It's like 1 pound or 2 pounds. I don't remember, but it's like a bigger one, not a small one, but a bigger, maybe 2 pounds, maybe 2 pounds. But anyways, my wife's like, "Why the hell is it so expensive?" I'm like, because I'm doing the most of the times I'm going for groceries in my family, and I look at the prices most of the times, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is just like it. That, yeah, that's Canada. So yeah, everything got way more expensive. When I came to Canada, guys, I used to go to a grocery store as an international student, and I would spend like $50. For like 80, $70, $76 or something, I would get like full week, like bags and bags and bags of groceries, and I would be eating that forever. Yeah, I remember all of those things. But right now everything is like, you go in, get a couple of items, $240. Bang. Crazy, guys. But anyways, hopefully things will get better. Just want to say, guys, what went wrong in Canada? What alternatives do we have? Who do we have? From liberal side, we have Justin Trudeau, Chrystia Freeland. I met Chrystia Freeland in person during the interview. She's a smart lady, but I don't think she would win with the current circumstances. And I don't know if she is going to be a good alternative with Justin Trudeau. I don't know. I don't know. And Pierre, I have high hopes for that guy right now. I feel that a lot of Canadians are, and he's probably going to win. But let's see. Hopefully, he can meet the expectations that he set up for himself. I honestly cheer for anyone who is in charge in Canada as long as they can get this country back on track and make the standard of living better, lessen the gap between rich and poor. I'm not saying to go against the rich or in favor of the poor. Like, I'm against communism. All I'm saying is that we have a stupid social system here where, you know, because of me being in the middle class, I'm taxed way more. That slopes me off the middle class and most of you guys watching this video into a poorer class, because now you are paying more taxes to create social programs, so, government spending, and we are in deficit. So we keep increasing private taxes to support people with lesser incomes by taxing not the rich ones, but taxing the middle class. So you and me, who are still holding on the middle class, are getting taxed way more, and slide it down into the lower income class, because that's when you get the social system that helps you. So basically, we are taxing not so rich people more. And the rich people corporations, what they do is, guys, I'll tell you, I work with I have rich people that I work with. You know, guys, what they have? They have corporations. They control their incomes. They work with CPAs. They can afford lawyers. They are not paying up themselves incomes to maintain themselves in a certain tax bracket. Or you think it's illegal? That's illegal. They have corporations that have millions of dollars, but they would pay themselves out $60,000 or $100,000, let's say, a year on those corporations, and that's their retirement fund. So they are retired, and they have millions of dollars untaxed, and they will not get taxed because that's not their money. So that's not their money, guys. Their money is inside their corporation, and as a separate legal entity. Talk to accountants, figure out how it works. And in the worst case, these corporations, and a lot of them already did, they'll just leave Canada and go offshore. That's another thing that they do. So as soon as the government is going to put pressure on the rich, they're just going to take their money and get lost out of Canada, and then we are going to be even more screwed. And a lot of big corporations are doing that. So just going after the rich people wouldn't solve it, and taxing the middle class more wouldn't solve it. Something else has to happen, and we have to build a stronger economy. Anyways, guys, love you all. I wish you all the best. I'm really hopeful that things will improve, but so far I can acknowledge, based on the incomes, prices went up by a lot, and incomes didn't go up by much, and that's what we have. So yes, I agree with those people who are saying that Canada is not the same, and it's a little bit broken and needs fixing. I agree with that, and hopefully we can address that. Thanks for watching, guys. All the best. See you soon.